Okie dokie, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 vs 1 AlphaStar cast. That intro, I don't know if it ever really makes any sense, but it gets all the information out there. And as far as this cast, a little bit more information goes, we've got a gold Zerg in the bottom right hand side. Playing on the map King's Cove, gonna be taking on Alpha Z. And now is the time for miracles to happen. If this gold player can take down AlphaStar, I will... Oh, I don't know. I really don't know. I gotta start coming up with better things that I will do that are slightly outlandish to show my disbelief and awe if something happens. You know? Now, let's take a look. Build-wise, the gold player already got that hatchery on the way, so a very, very early hatchery. By the way, like, this is like a super duper early hatchery compared to normal Zerg. Like, this was like a 14 hatch, which is not normal. And then the Zerg goes right into the pool. So this is kind of like that Zerg rush build, which happens, which you get the I mean, it's not, but it kind of is, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. It's the very early hatchery build that Zerg goes for, which basically they don't make any drones, and then they start the hatchery, and then they start the pool right after. And so as a result, they've got the very, very early spawning pool. But then they've also got the hatchery that sells it as a normal looking story, and that's a build that I'm a big fan of. Zergs have used it to cheese out their opponents in like the GSL and things. And so I really do like that build, but otherwise this is just a very speedy, safe opening for the gold player realistically. A little bit aggressive though, as he does fire up 8 zergling. Yeah. But I don't think this build should get too much done to AlphaStar, depending on how AlphaStar reacts. I mean, it's 10 zerglings as a matter of fact, 12 zerglings. Okay, it's just lings all the way up from this gold guy. And I honestly like this as far as the choice of build. Yeah, he's gonna just try and catch AlphaStar off guard. The lings are gonna run right underneath that Overlord, so cat's out of the bag. AlphaStar is gonna have to react to this. As it's just lings and lings and lings. Speeds on the way for both players. The gold player is going to want to pull his drones out of that gas unless he wants something else to use that gas for. Potentially banelings, which wouldn't be unheard of. Or there we go, banelings on the way. So yeah, going to be some big old banes for the gold player. Going to be trying to put the pressure on AlphaStar. Currently, he's got a decently significant ling lead. His lings are now running up this ramp, but he does lose one at the start of the engagement. Maybe he's just going to wait for his baneling nest to finish up. We shall see. For now, though, the lings are going to move on in. There is a queen they're going to engage, though, and so that's not going to do him well at all. He's going to try and target the queen. He does get the queen, as a matter of fact, which actually wasn't too bad. How many lings was that? That was 10 lings for 2, so 8 lings for a queen, which is definitely not great if we actually look at it. Speed's about to finish up for both players, and yeah, let's take a look. Ling's moving in once again for the gold player. He does have his baneling nest done. He's actually going to try and snipe another queen, which could potentially work out. It's going to be real close. Does she die? The answer is yes, she does. Once again, a lot of lings for that queen. However, the gold player just going to be rallying more and more and more. There's no baneling nest for AlphaStar, so we could see the Zerg start to make some banelings, and that will be the case. I'm not going to say that there's a huge chance for the gold player, but I'm telling you, there's a chance. Does AlphaStar target down these Banes quick enough? I mean, Banelings are about to finish up. That's going to be real messy for AlphaStar. One finishes up, another finishes up, but AlphaStar has split its lings pretty appropriately. And I think that the gold player is just going to run out of gas as AlphaStar has gone up and up in the drone count. Is going to have vastly better production. And that the gold player will need to get an outright kill in order to win this game. But all of a sudden, in come the lings. They're going to try and wrap around on this queen, but drones will be pulled to fight. Good move by AlphaStar. The lings are going to have to run on out. Probably morph some more banelings if he wants to have a chance at this. Looks like he does morph one more. Lings are going to fight, but oh, he actually loses the ling fight. A lot of red lings for AlphaStar. And the gold player, he's a hero for trying. But in the end, I think this one is not going to work on out for him. AlphaStar has effectively held on, has an R8 army supply, is making a lot more lings, 14 on the way, got a third base on the way, 32 drones to 15. You gotta give it to the gold player, a decently executed cheese, but AlphaStar just a little bit too much for this to work on. And so I think we will be heading towards the next game. Banelings are going to run on in. Maybe there will be some godlike Baneling connections. There's a chance. 1 goes off, 2 goes off, 3 goes off, but their connections were definitely not enough. Missing the main chunk of the Lings is going to mean that this attack is not going to work. The gold player is now going to engage AlphaStar's Lings, but when it's a numbers game, the gold player is going to lose. He will actually chase this portion of AlphaStar's Lings away, but the problem is the gold player can just make more and more. There's now a Baneling nest done for AlphaStar, so the AI going to be getting out its own Banelings, and that's going to make things very, very complicated because gold players have a hard time splitting against Banelings, and that's just a fact. So let's see, is there going to be a big Baneling connection to end this? Oh, is he going to go up the ramp? Down comes AlphaStar's Banelings. It's close. The gold player got to try and run away from those Banes. He's going to try and bait out those Baneling connections, looking for one right now. Actually does find it. The problem is there's 2 more that he's got to deal with. His Lings, one's running up the ramp, but AlphaStar's army is to the south. Lings run in. They're going to start targeting down this 3rd base, but in comes AlphaStar with its own Lings. Looks like the hatchery will actually die. The Baneling's going off, but most of the Lings for the gold player are dead. And so that was pretty costly. He gets the 3rd, which is alright. But things are just going to get worse for the gold player, seeing as how AlphaStar has got +1 melee attack done. So his Lings will just shred through the gold player's Lings. And this game's just going to continue on. I mean, the gold player, he's firing up a lair. He's giving it his darndest. And I totally forgot to mention, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go for... Okay, this is a bit of a bold one. Can we try and hit 74 likes for 74 dead zerglings for this gold player? I knew that number would be high, but if we can do that, that would be absolutely awesome on this video. I kind of got distracted there before calling that a little bit early. Now we see AlphaStar firing up 22 of its own zerglings. There's +1 melee attack, a roach war, and roach speed on the way. The AI's really got free reign of this game. Lings are going to counterattack for AlphaStar. There's no 3rd for them to kill, though. And so it's going to be Lings moving across the map on both sides. But once again, it's literally just a numbers game. I don't think that the best Zerg in the world could turn this game around against AlphaStar right now. Maybe if you knew how to exploit the AI. But really not. Really not. Okay, 1 Ling running on out. Ling's running on into the main base of the gold player. Lings are engaging, but we do see what happens, the difference between the +1 attack and the non-+1. The Lings of the gold player just tend to melt away. Queen's been put into a good spot to try and hang on, but we do see how many Lings there are simply out there for AlphaStar, and the gold player does not have that many Lings. He's making 12, but these are +1 Lings for AlphaStar. They're just going to cut right through this. The gold player's going to tap on out, and AlphaStar takes a while to get the win, but in the end, does get that W. GG. All right, 1 ZVZ into another. But I gotta say, this should be a pretty dank replay, guys. We are down to replay number 69 out of all of the AlphaStar games. 69 to go, or this is the 69th. And we've actually just got ourselves, yeah, another ZVZ on the map King's Cove this time. So AlphaStar just popped that gold player. Now gonna have a bit of a tougher opponent, the Masters player. However, we have actually seen players die quicker to AlphaStar than that gold player did. Definitely hanging on a little bit. Good job, gold player. Hanging on to the edge of that ledge, not letting go till AlphaStar completely stepped on all of his fingers. Now, let's take a look. Build-wise, AlphaStar's probably going to hatchery first. I think it goes pool first the most, I'd say, in ZVP. I think that's the matchup which AlphaStar goes for the most early pools. Hatcheries are on the way for both players. AlphaStar is just gonna be doing its thing, and yeah, let's just take a minute to appreciate these drones mining, doing their thing, just doing their thing. Okay, now let's take a look. Extractor's on the way for the Masters player. Yeah. Extractor on the way for AlphaStar. We saw a big Ling flood in the last game. I doubt we'll see that in this game, as it's not often that happens too much. to my dismay, because I love to see AlphaStar just fighting against mass banelings. I would certainly try and cheese out AlphaStar in a ZVZ. I think that would be my only chance. Either that or I'd do something whack, like turtle up on 2 bases with like a bajillion spine crawlers. Or rush into, oh, I don't know. Maybe burrow. A very quick burrow against AlphaStar would be cool. Like, you know how in the past there was those really quick openings, which Zergs would use the burrowed roaches. The roach gets injured, you put it into the ground. How well would AlphaStar handle that? Because it does sometimes forget about the threat of roaches. And I wonder if it actually ever encountered burrowed roaches when it was getting trained. And if it didn't, then it's probably got a weakness to it. So now let's take a look here. We have got Metabolic Boost on the way for both players. We have got AlphaStar just going for its queens popping out. Same for the Masters player. And it is interesting to note. Oh, here's a question, by the way. Do you guys want to see me cast like the original AlphaStar games, like the Mana and TLO ones, assuming that I can find the replays wherever they are? If you do, let me know. I never cast them when it first came out because I knew everyone and their dog was going to be casting it. But maybe I'll cast those to add a little bit more AlphaStar content. If you guys do actually have some interest in that. But yeah, I was before that, and the thing that made me think of that was actually how AlphaStar doesn't oversaturate as much as it did in the past. Like, remember the first games of AlphaStar, the AI was always at like 24 out of 24 workers. Something high like that, because it actually is just more efficient. Yes. Now, let's take a look. Baneling Nest on the way for the Masters player. Roach Warren on the way for AlphaStar. A little bit of a difference there. AlphaStar tends to skip the Baneling Nest most of the time, unless it's really getting pressured. There's no real AlphaStar cheese with the mass lings that uses banelings. I mean, it does do like the mass ling flood sometimes against Protoss, but it doesn't usually involve banelings. Now we see a Lairs on the way for AlphaStar, Lairs on the way for the Masters player, so both players going for that. Then the Roach Warren is on the way for the Masters player as well, which I do like, delaying the Roach Warren a little bit, because Defender's advantage can be so huge in Starcraft. And particularly in ZVZ, as long as you have the information. Oh, by the way, AlphaStar killing off yet another Overlord. This is what the AI does all the time. It always cleans out the path, denies the information, which I was just talking about. Because you definitely can play more defensive in StarCraft 2, and more sort of greedy if you've got the information. As long as you know when you need to start making units, then you're fine. However, that's not the case for the Masters players. He has had his scouting mainly denied. Another Queen working away on this Overlord. This one may escape. I think it will. Yeah, it's going to be close, but he should get out of here as long as he moves all the way away. Needs to go a little bit further than that to ensure his safety. We'll spot the third base is on the way for AlphaStar. And that is quite interesting. AlphaStar going for a third base. Usually it's leaning pretty hard on the roaches. And looks like it's planning an attack before then. In ZVZ. For now, though, the Masters player already has his third base done, so he does have his up earlier. He's firing up his own roaches, however, he doesn't have his +1 started. He doesn't have his roach speed started. He's got a spine crawler done, which he's going to relocate to his third base, which I do like. If you make a spine crawler, make sure you get as much value out of it as you can. And taking a look, there is indeed that spine crawler finally burrowing. Both players just churning out roaches. The Masters player, as long as he identifies this attack is coming, he should be fine. And I really would like to see someone hold on against AlphaStar's attack, but oh, this is quite an investment here for the Masters player. Gonna be making 6 Banelings to try and put the pressure on AlphaStar. And I really don't like this due to the wall, due to the fact that AlphaStar has roaches. And oh my gosh, is the Masters player gonna go for an attack? This will actually just be suicide if he attacks on in. I'm not sure what he's thinking. He's going to run by AlphaStar's roaches. Some of the Banelings may actually make it in. This is just a kamikaze Baneling run. Only 2 make it in, and not enough to actually kill off drones. So a wasted investment for the Masters player. Sending in just Banelings when your opponent isn't even really out on the map is a very risky play. However, in the process, the Masters player did identify how many roaches that are there for AlphaStar. And so he is just going to be going very, very hard on the defense. He's got 2 more spine crawlers building to help him out. He can hold at the top of this ramp. This is going to be a very, very good choke point, and he does repel the AI. He's now going to bounce towards the third base to try and defend. Both players aren't even drone counts. It's all just about the defense for the Masters player. His spine crawlers will help even up the supply, but he cancels one, interestingly enough. And he is supply blocked, man. The supply blocks have really killed players in the past trying to hold on against AlphaStar's timing attack. +1 is just starting for the Masters player, so he's going to have an upgrade deficit throughout this game as AlphaStar already fires up its +2. The Zerg is just going to be macroing on up, getting up its third base. And will we see a fourth for AlphaStar sometime soon? Will the AI go high into the drone count? Probably not. It usually just waits till it's confident it can make another timing attack work. The roaches are now moving out for AlphaStar. Gonna be crossing the map, or for the Masters player, pardon me, and this is a very bold move. He does not want to be doing this. He's moving out with 32 roaches against 37. Roaches with a defender's advantage for reinforcements, roaches with superior numbers, and now AlphaStar is going to have to react to this attack. The Masters player is going on in, fighting just a portion of AlphaStar's army since a large portion was off to the left, but still, I don't think this is what you want for the Masters player. All of a sudden, he's got himself trapped in the main base of AlphaStar. His roaches are going to try and run on out, but that was a costly, costly venture. And so, the Masters player is going to be running home with a tail between his legs. I'm not sure what really made him think he could have an attack that would work. But either way, that one definitely did not. He's now going to go home, try and hold on against AlphaStar's counterattack supply. 86 to 129, definitely in the favor of AlphaStar. Upgrades in the favor of AlphaStar. The spines are the only thing that's really going for the Masters player. He's got the defender's advantage, but not that many roaches coming out. Grosobal's going to hit the spines. The +1 for AlphaStar is just so good. And I think the AI is going to take another pretty clean game. It's going to be a close hold, but in the end, it's not going to be enough. There's just too much for AlphaStar. The +1 making too much of a difference. And the Masters player going for that kamikaze attack shows us that players just leave themselves open to AlphaStar's attacks time and time again. It's always that the Masters player, or just the opponent of AlphaStar, is going for an attack, or they commit too much to something. Then the agent just comes in with its attack and just smashes its opponent at the right time. And it just goes to show how some people are playing, that they're not really... They're kind of just going full send Hail Mary, not really thinking about, what's my opponent doing? And playing off of that. Because if the Masters player there had thought, oh, he made a lot of roaches, yes, but he's got a third base up. If he clicked on a roach, saw the upgrade, he'd know that too. And he definitely wouldn't have attacked. So a wrong call there by the Masters player. He could have played the game out, potentially gone for a win later on. But yeah, really costly mistake. And in the end, GG, well played by AlphaStar. Ladies and gentlemen, like this video if you have not. Can't remember how many likes we were going for, but it was high. So you got to slap that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Get your daily StarCraft 2 content here. Check out the link to the Discord in the description below, and there's also the various perks you can get by becoming a member. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm LaughNgamez. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.